What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. We are back. It is Philly the podcast. I am joined as always by my man's Brandon. How are you doing?
Good, good, good.
We chilling. No, it's just me and you now. So you know what I'm saying? Now we gotta be, yesterday threw us off. We haven't done a call in a minute, so we had to actually be quiet for a second. But so today is the day, guys. Today is the day. This is probably the one pick that me and you were most excited about. Is the Philadelphia Eagles one. So this one we're probably going to go a little bit off Richter, off the scheduled plan that we usually do with the other ones. Obviously, it's our people, so we got to go a little bit more in depth.
Yes,
So what did
sir.
I do? What did I have to do? I had to go and get some scouts. You know what I'm saying? Let's call it that. Me and you are GMs. We went out. We got our scouts. You know what I'm saying? Some of the if people are spamming, be sure to just kick them out. But yeah, we had to go out and get our we had to go get our scouts. You guys probably know them as some of your favorite Eagles YouTubers. So I'm excited. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit, Brandon. So how are you feeling about this draft pick? Where's your mind at? A lot is going on.
A lot is going on is an understatement for Philadelphia right now. There's just so much drama when it comes to Carson Wentz and what's going to go on and how we brought people in to quote unquote fix him and how this draft was also between last draft and this draft was to get weapons around Carson Wentz. Everything has been about Carson Wentz. And now he might not even be here next week, let alone by the time the season starts. So this draft, as it definitely is going to play a huge role into our future, especially if Carson Wentz is not part of that future.
Facts. Now we've talked about it a lot. We've went back and forth on what we wanted. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts overall? About because I know you haven't seen the video yet. So lucky, I kind of wanted to keep it that way because I kind of want to get your raw reaction to what they say. So a lot of the oversetting tone was that a lot of people wanted to move back. How do you feel about that?
The only way I'm moving back is if you're set in stone on getting a guy like Kyle Pitts or something. If you're getting a guy that is good, but isn't that like number 6 worthy and someone's willing to have you go back 3 spots and you get an extra second round pick or something, and that's who you're targeting, then I'm okay with that. But if we're looking for someone that's going to be a cornerstone piece of this offense or defense, and it's like a Chase Young type of player, we just can't pass up the opportunity. Because like I've been preaching, you don't want to be in the top 10 every year. That's not the goal. The goal is not so I can go into the season and think I'm going to get a top 10 pick. Sometimes when you're in this situation, you just got to hold on and get that really good player so you can hold on to that player, hopefully for the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, that's very true, man. A lot of these decisions that are being made, whether it be Carson Wentz, which we'll get to in a second, whether it be Carson Wentz, whether it be the draft, these are all going to be, like you said, 5 to 10 year decisions. So this is a big time for our franchise. Shout out to everybody in here. We got about 20 people in here already. Shout out to Mr. Philly, the first person that was in here at 6:10. So he came in here way earlier than I. Shout out to Big Play Slay in the building. Clutch Bone says, I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Kick the people out that are definitely spamming. Can you post Braden's YouTube channel, Philly Fight? There you go. You just did it. You just did it yourself. Shout out to Be More Careful in the building. Shout out to Big Play Slay. Shout out to Philly Insider Podcast. Rome, Dak Prescott, as always, in the building. I love it. Stephen Joyce in the building. Soul Exchange in the building. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Texas Boy in the building. We got everybody in here. So, all right, let's talk about, before we get into, our scouts tape, before we get into, the archive of what our scouts are telling us. I'm going to keep calling them scouts. I think it sounds cool. But either way, how are you feeling about all this drama surrounding Carson Wentz? I mean, we talked about it off camera a little bit. It's getting a little annoying, but, tell the people, how are you feeling?
It definitely is getting annoying, but low key, it's kind of like a season of a show, right? It's like part of you wants to binge through it already and have it be done, but kind of the whole drawn out thing, at least it gave us news and something to talk about between this offseason coming up to the Super Bowl. I feel like I've heard more about Carson Wentz than the actual Super Bowl coming up itself. So the fact that at least we've been entertained in a sense, even though like you can really say this entertainment is not happy entertainment, it's still something where we're not just sitting back and talking Brady Mahomes every other day.
Yeah, that's true. At this point, man, I would rather be talking Brady. I agree with you. I agree with you 100% just because, like, it is something to talk about. At least it's kind of exciting. We said before, I think we said in, like, week 17, we were saying in week 17, 16, like, at the very least, this offseason is going to be exciting. And they have not disappointed us yet, but it is definitely, like, I feel like, you know those kids that get in trouble, they go to jail for the night, but they're in that holding cell. They know that they're gonna get in trouble when they get home and everything, but they look at each other and they think about 2017 or that party. You know what I mean? And they're like, hey, it was worth it. It was worth it. We might be in a little trouble right now, but it was worth it. So I mean,
yeah, for sure.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We have to go through this. So I mean, do we get right into the videos, or do you want to go one by one? How should we do this? Because I'm thinking we just go one by one and just kind of give our reaction to what they say. How do you feel about that?
That sounds good. We give our reaction. We get to see what the comments say, see what they're saying, if they agree or disagree at that time. I dig it.
Exactly. He said, I dig it.
I dig it.
I need disco lights. But no, so what we did do, like I said, we got every Eagle YouTuber I could. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are busy. They took the time to send me in a video, just basically giving their pick of who they would want for the Philadelphia Eagles. I guess I can show you better than I can tell you. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. And we're going to be starting off with my homegirl, Simone with the sports.
So with the number 6 pick in the draft, Howie Roseman selects Zach Wilson. I'm just playing. So the number 6 pick in the draft, with Jamar Chase still on the board, I know the fan favorite is Jamar Chase. And you guys already know I'm super duper high on Jamar Chase. So with this number 6 pick, I'm super torn because, I mean, how do you pass up on a guy like Jamar Chase? Given the way our wide receiver room has been so depleted for so freaking long, Jamar Chase could make up for the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside pick. Jamar Chase could make up for Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. No shade, Jalen, but you was never Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase could make up for all of that. But given the needs that the Eagles have all around the offense, all around the defense, if we do trade back, let's say to number 9 for the Broncos pick or number 12 for the San Francisco 49ers pick, we'll still get a chance at a top wide receiver, maybe even Jamar Chase at number 9, plus have an additional pick in the second round, because the second round, guys, is going to be loaded with talent, especially in the secondary, especially on defense. If you guys have been following the Senior Bowl, it's a lot of top defensive talent coming out of the second round of the draft. So those guys make me super excited. We're going to talk about it some more on my channel. I know y'all going to be upset if we leave Jamar Chase on the board, so I'm going to just do y'all a fan favorite and say the Eagles select Jamar Chase, wide receiver from LSU, with the number 6 overall pick in the 2021 in the 2021 NFL draft. Jamar Chase, welcome to Philly.
All right. So we got the first of the opinions. So we got Simone Stanley. Thank you so much, like I said, for taking your time and sending us in that video. So what do you guys think in the comments? What do you think, Brandon? We'll give like a quick little 2-minute synopsis.
You can't go wrong if Jamar Chase is there compared to some other players. You got to take him. I feel like, yes, defense wins championships, and you can maybe snag a wide receiver in a different round that turns out to be a phenomenal player. That's always the hope when you grab someone outside of the top 10, that they're going to end up being a good player for you for the long haul. But Jamar Chase just looks like a beast, bro. And even if you're looking at, we would get him for Wentz. You can get him for Hurts too. Hurts is going to need people to throw to as well, or whoever the quarterback is. They're going to need more than just Jalen Reagor and some of the other guys that didn't even get to play, like Hightower or Quez Watkins or Goodwin, who didn't even play a whole season, or JJ Arcega-Whiteside. You got to have some firepower. We have a running back in Miles Sanders. Jamar Chase, hey, that could be a game changer.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. I've said it, time and time again. I guess I know a lot of people have seen the lives. If you're new, I guess you'll have to wait till then. But I know a lot of people have seen the lives and kind of know where I lie as far as who I want to for us to take at that 6th pick. But I've said time and time again, I would not be mad at Jamar Chase at all. I've done a reaction video to one of his highlight tapes or whatever, and the kid looks electric. Just like you said, he could definitely be a game changer and, hopefully a franchise changer. Like some people are saying in here, she was definitely right about trading back, but not mad about Chase at all. So, all right. So we got one person saying Chase. Well, now we're at 2 because technically we have to keep the community post in mind. So somebody in the comments, please keep tally because I'm definitely going to forget. But right now we're at 2 for Jamar Chase. So we'll get to the next one. And the next one is actually going to be my guy, your guy. You guys have seen him on here plenty of times. Philly Insider Podcast sent me a video. Very insightful guy. Definitely go check him out. His channel, just like everybody else's, Simone and everybody that you'll see after this, their channel will be in the description. So definitely go check them out and show them love because I'm sure that they're going to talk more about the picks that they want. But so, yeah, let's get into it. That's the screenshot.
What's going on,
there.
Eagles fans? Hunter Doyle here from Philly Insider Podcast and InsideTheEagles.com. It's a blessing to be on Philly Phil, the podcast right now, and I'm excited for the draft. Looking forward to it. We're at the 6th pick right now in the mock draft, and at pick number 6 for the Philadelphia Eagles, I am selecting Jamar Chase, LSU wide receiver. I'll admit I am a little biased. I'm an LSU fan for college, so you can bash me if you want, but I really think if he is on the board, it's hard to pass him up. There's a lot of other prospects that are worthy of the 6th pick, but Chase is my guy. And I got a little scouting report here that I did on him. 6 foot, 208 pounds, and obviously he had the Biletnikoff award-winning season. He was an All-American and a college football national champion, and put up 1,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 22 broken tackles that year, which is very impressive considering the competition he's facing. I mean, he's going up against SEC corners. These are some of the best in the world that have been recruited there, such as Patrick Surtain, such as J.C. Horn. And he's very physical. He's an athletic guy. For his size, he is just so athletic. It's fun to watch. The attention to detail on his routes is pretty insane if you go back and watch him play. His release, he's able to stack corners really well for being a 19-year-old when he did all this. Keep that in mind. The yards after catch is really impressive. He had 558 yards from the slot, so he can do it on the outside and in the slot if you need him to. He's not limited to one or the other. He really is a good X receiver when you put him there. The Eagles haven't had that for a while, and I think considering, Sirianni with how he likes to attack matchups and also the way he's able to set up his fast receivers for yards after catch on short routes, on reverses, end arounds, and just working that short game, I think that'll complement a guy like Chase really nicely. And at the same time, we're going to see Sirianni try to get one-on-ones for Chase. So I think this really would work well with our system right now and what we're expecting Sirianni to implement. I think it's a good pick. I'm excited about the potential of Jamar Chase. You can't pass him up if he's on the board here, in my opinion. Looking forward to seeing if we get him. So thanks, everyone, for watching. Go Birds.
All right, so we got another Jamar Chase. Another Jamar Chase.
Three for Chase.
That's 3 for Chase. I'm glad you're keeping count because I was thinking in my head like, all right, that's 1, 2, 1, 2. Carry the 2. No, all right. So we're at 3. I mean, hey, it's looking like it's gonna be, maybe a runaway. We'll see. I'm not mad at it. We'll go on to the next one. We'll see what they say. There's not much to say. We already said our piece, right? I forget who's next, to be honest. All right, so next we have my guy, Steve from Gate City Sports. Very, very smart, very, very football savvy. I'm very excited for you guys to hear what he has to say. So let's just get right into it.
What's going on, everybody? This is Steven here with Gate City Sports Channel. Let me explain. I know everyone probably expected Jamar Chase here, and I wouldn't be upset with the Jamar Chase pick, but I don't think he's the greatest scheme fit for Nick Sirianni.
It's not done yet. I just like to be dramatic. All right, we
if this was Doug, he'd be an incredible fit. And I'm not going to be unsatisfied with that type of selection, guys, because Jamar Chase is an exceptional receiver. But I do think you want guys that are more yak related, yards after the catch. Look at Zach Pascal and what he did in 2019 with that offense, and you'll see that we have guys in-house that fit Sirianni's scheme way better than they fit Doug's scheme. Rager. I would even say J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. But watch out for J.J. this year, guys. He's not a prolific route runner. We all know that. But put him in a yak system like he was in Stanford and watch this kid take off. I would also watch out for Travis Fulgham, who also came from ODU, just like Zach Pascal, and who basically took over for Zach Pascal at ODU when he left. Defense, guys, I know a lot of you guys wanted to go defense and linebacker. Guys, they haven't done that since like 79 or 80. I can't in good faith project that without something more from the Eagles to indicate they would do that. I'm hoping. I would love it, but come on, let's be real. Corner. I like both Patrick Surtain and I like Caleb Farley. The issue is I think Patrick Surtain struggles in deep coverage. I think when he's in situations where he's in a man situation over 20 yards, he can get beat by a more dynamic athlete. So he might really struggle at the NFL level. But I will say that he mirrors and he shadows receivers within that 10-yard radius better than most corners I've watched film on. Like, he's very good at staying in that hip pocket. Caleb Farley is probably by far the most talented of these guys. The problem is he doesn't have a lot of experience. This was a kid that was recruited. He was a quarterback. And then he played receiver. And then he finally got around to being, a corner at Virginia Tech. Phenomenal 2019 season. This kid has got ball skills. He can play man coverage. He's got the arm length. He's everything that, you kind of look for in that prototypical thing, but he's a bit of an injury risk, though, too. He did suffer a non-contact ACL injury back in 2017. I'm not too sure I would touch these guys in the top 10 personally if I was making the selection. I don't know where the Eagles will weigh in. We clearly need, help at corner, and we know we're going to take corners in this draft, but you got to walk away with a dynamic playmaker if you're picking in the top 10. And I know that even Kyle Pitts, you can make an argument it's too early in the top 10. That's why I do think that it's very likely the Eagles try to trade back, and they target a lot of these guys that we just talked about. So, all right, guys. With the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Philadelphia Eagles taking hybrid tight end and wide receiver from the University of Florida, Kyle Pitts.
It gets interesting, fellas.
Wow.
It gets interesting. So I know a lot of people, look, I know a lot of people have probably seen these guys talking about it on their channel, saying that they're, how you feeling, Brandon? How does that make you feel? What are you thinking about
just
Kyle
to take a couple things away from what he was saying is that maybe Jamar Chase might not be a scheme fit. That's something that's real, right? I do think that if you're a really good wide receiver, though, that you're able to adjust, especially if you're a good football mind, that you can adjust to a scheme and still flourish. I mean, there's been players like Randy Moss that have gone through different schemes, but he still was a prolific wide receiver no matter where he was. So I'm not saying Jamar Chase is Randy Moss. I'm just saying if you have that football intellect and you're just smart and you're just a baller by nature, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna play well. But to take a guy like Kyle Pitts, I personally would have, unless he kills it, I would struggle taking a tight end that early, considering that we have a Dallas Goedert, considering that this other Richard Rodgers played well. Maybe we can bring him back for the low. So I don't know. It's tough, but when you watch his highlights, that dude is a beast. I'm not going to lie. That dude does make those big challenging catches, something that we can benefit from, especially if we're throwing on the run and stuff like that with Hurts or Wentz.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching him more and more. I know a lot of people watch Philly 500. Everybody watches Philly 500. And I feel like he was one of the first people that kind of really just hopped on the train full-fledged and was just like, Kyle Pitts or nobody. But I like Kyle Pitts. And I feel like if he's going to be the number 6 pick, it's going to be because you are moving him around. You know what I'm saying? Gate City spoke a lot about, which that was an amazing video. I was like, I don't know how he fit all that information in like 2.5 minutes. But, like you said, if you're not going to fit the scheme, then maybe that lowers your value no matter how good you are. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I wouldn't be mad at Kyle Pitts, but I don't know. I'm kind of with you on it as well. Go ahead.
Quick question just before we get into the next one. if we are kind of taking people down thinking that, all right, they don't fit our scheme, then we shouldn't be that upset that we didn't get Justin Jefferson because, quote unquote, it was a scheme thing.
Don't feed the lions. don't start feeding the lions. We're having a good live, Brandon. Don't start feeding the lions. We were having a good live. No, I mean, it is what it is. It's weird. It's once we get out of this year, or once we get into this year, I should say, once we get into this football season, if we start doing very well, if people are healthy, people are going to be looking at Doug like, what the heck were you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is going to be very imperative. Shout out to everybody that's in here. We do have 40 people in here. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe. Like I said, all the people that sent in the video to help us out make this pick, their channels will be below. So definitely go check them out. Definitely go subscribe and show love. This is all Eagles family. So this is probably the most fun type of collaboration I could have done. To get everybody at once would have been nearly impossible. So this was the next best thing I could do. So I hope everybody's enjoying it. But so we'll get into the next one. This one goes along with a little bit of a announcement that we should probably make. Shout out to my guy Thomas Arnone. Shout out to the whole A2D family. We will be bringing Philly the podcast over there for one show a week on Saturday 1 to 3. So if you guys don't follow A2D, definitely should go follow them. If you do,
sir.
We will be there on Saturdays 1 to 3. We're very excited about joining the team. So I just wanted to let that be known. But let's get into his pick, guys. Let's get into his pick. So wait, before we do, what are we at? We're at 3-1.
3 Chase, 1 Pitts.
3 Chase, 1 Pitts. And as we're going, you guys let me know in the comments who you want, and I'll try and keep tally. I'm probably not gonna, but
what's up, everybody? What up, fam? What up, Philly, the podcast? Tom Arnone, A2D Radio. Who do I want at number 6? Listen, I've been on the Patrick Surtain train for a while now. I was on the Smith train for a while. I really don't see how we can go wide receiver again. I just don't know how we do it. We've used so many assets over the past few years to address wide receivers. It looks right now that they haven't hit. Okay, but I don't feel like we can go back there again. The more I've watched Kyle Pitts, the more I'm in love with him. He's a mismatch nightmare. He can play on the outside. There ain't a corner in the National Football League that's going to be able to cover him one-on-one because of his size. Obviously, when he plays the slot, plays tight end, there's no linebacker that can cover him speed-wise, right? So he becomes a big-time mismatch nightmare. And no matter who my quarterback is and is going to be, I need him to have a superstar caliber tight end, right? And you look at all the good teams and the good quarterbacks, they usually have one, okay? They don't have that big-time wide receiver. I want that for the Eagles. Now, gun to my head, who do I got to take? Pat Surtain is the guy. I'm not going to run from who's number 1 on my board at who I think is going to be at 6. And I believe he's going to be at 6. He's never out of position. He was born for this. All right, Daddy had him backpedaling through cones at 3 years old. I mean, Pat Surtain Jr. to me is a can't miss. Is a 10-year Pro Bowler in this league and is a guy that is long, athletic, and the big thing he does extremely well too is he tackles in open field and he's great inside the red zone. That's all I gotta say. Tom Arnone, A2D Radio, the best in the business. No notes.
that's my guy. I love that guy to death. That guy is hilarious, man.
It's like the perfect radio voice.
He really does. He's hilarious, man. So Patrick Surtain is the pick. Before you get into it, I'll say a little piece. I did watch some Patrick Surtain. Mm-hmm. I really do like the kid. I do like the kid. I know I kept on saying he's a little handsy. He was very handsy, but you got to be. He basically ran the route for the guy. So it was on like the cusp of like your pass interference. And then it's on the cusp of like you're literally just kind of hand checking because the guy's got to play with you as well. He's got to use his hands against you because you're on the route so well.
Right.
So it's kind of that, it's a hard line to cradle, if you will. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think he does it very well. I think he's a very good, technically sound. Like he said, he can actually tackle. I think that's something a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans will be happy to see. I don't know. You know, I love Tom, but I don't know if I would do Surtain this early. That's my only thing. I don't know if I would do Surtain at 6, but how do you feel?
I was going to reference your video from the other day where you were mentioning that. I mean, when you were watching those highlights, I was sitting there watching it, and he did look handsy. It did look like, all right, so it's either going to be 50-50. The refs is going to have a nice day where they're like, we're going to let these guys handle it themselves. And like you can see him getting physical, and you want to see that in the corner. At the end of the day, I'd rather have a corner that's more physical than that's just lollygagging and let people running by them and stuff like that. I wouldn't be mad about taking a corner at 6. We have been dying for another corner. We've been dying for a number 1 corner, and we just got Slay. And Slay is only going to get older. The guy is already kind of old, and so we need that second coming corner. I wouldn't be mad about taking a corner, especially a guy like Surtain. Between I think Surtain, J.C. Horn, and Asante Samuels, their dads were all in the NFL. So these are guys that have been around the NFL, that probably have been working out, like he said, doing back pedals since he was 3 years old around the cones. Like, you can't go wrong with something like this. No one would ever fault you if he didn't pan out. These are picks that if you pick Kyle Pitts, that's something that people can be like, well, you took a tight end at 6. You take Surtain or you take Jamar Chase. If they don't pan out, no one's faulting you for that, because they're the best in the country right now in the college.
Yeah, I like I said, I like Surtain a lot. I don't know if I love it at 6. I wouldn't be upset. I would be more upset if there was players there that I felt were better, you know, such as like Jamar Chase, or like if Jamar Chase is there, Devontae Smith's there, and you pick Patrick Surtain, I don't know. I'll probably be like, maybe I would be happy that you went defense, and you know, I know I get beggars can't be choosers, right? But
right,
I don't know. I just feel like you can get a good cornerback. Somebody said it in here, and I lost the comment because I'm the worst at keeping comments. But he said, yeah, I like Surtain, but he would have to be Jalen Ramsey if we draft him at that high. That's the truth. Like he would have to. That's pretty high for even a cornerback. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think that he's really good.
There's some corners
but I've said before. There are some. I mean, like Ramsey, what's his name from the Browns?
Denzel Ward.
There we go. Denzel Ward is really good. You know, but there's also a learning curve. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad. I think that, you know, I don't think he would be the best player available at that point. But I get his point. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want us to go defense. So like I said, beggars can't be choosers. But I'm going to be begging and choosing and, you know, choosing and begging. I'll give a damn. All right, so we'll get into the. Do you want to say anything before we get into the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, so we'll get into the next one. And everybody, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get this to like 30 or 40 likes.
Yeah.
You're that man. You know what it is. You know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General, man. Here reporting for duty, man. Listen, shout out to Philly Podcast, man. Shout out to Joe, man. Been grinding ever since he stepped foot on the stage, man, and he like been non-stop. They give y'all consistent content, man. Make sure, you know, well, be giving us, because I listen also. Be giving us consistent content, man. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit that sub button. The General says so. So Joe calls me, and
Y'all heard him.
He wants to know with my 6th pick if I was the Philadelphia Eagles. At first, I said, no, you need to move back. You need to move back because of the situation that we got more holes in a laundry basket on this team. I'm not saying we don't got talent, but we definitely don't got top-notch talent. So I was thinking about moving back, but now that I look at it, if Jamar Chase is there, I'm going to have to go after a Jamar Chase, because we already seen what a number one wide receiver can do to change just how a quarterback looks. You think that Josh Allen looks the way he looks just because they changed his footwork, which his footwork is not that good? Not hating on the kid, I'm just speaking facts. It's one of the reasons is because Diggs is one of the most. I think he's going to be in the top 5 in MVP, because he's one of the most explosive wide receivers in the game. And if you can have that, then you gotta snatch that. You got to snatch that. But if Jamal Chase is not there, then I'm gonna have to go Micah Parsons, man. Micah, whatever you want to call him, Micah Parsons. I watched this guy the 2 years that he was at Penn State. The dude set out last year for good reasons. Dude is just a total beast. Total beast. 6'3", 250. I don't know if he slimmed down or gained more weight. But when I say attacks the football, he is a playmaker. He can change the fortunes of your defense. Now, of course, you gotta have surrounding cast around him. He's not a middle linebacker, but man, this dude can ball. Jamar Chase, I have seen tape on him. I only watched a few games of him playing. I watched every single game Parsons has played when he was with Penn State. I'm telling you, the dude is a beast. You know what I mean? But I definitely probably would have to go with Chase first, because I think that Jamar Chase put more of an impact on the Philadelphia Eagles if he's selected over Part. Am I going to be hurt? Am I going to be salty? We don't get Part. Yeah, I am. That's my guy. But at the same time, I know that we need that dominant receiver that we have not had since T.O. Now, Falcon came onto the scene, and he did his thing for 4 weeks. And I'm not saying he might not be a number one. Who knows? But I don't think he's on Jamar Chase status. You know what I mean? That's what I think, Joe. Keep doing your thing, bro. Yo, that! Stay Philly, stay fresh, too.
So we got, where are we at? 3-1-1?
Right? Now it's 4-1-1.
So 4 for
I was gonna give it
Chase.
0.5, but then he finished off by saying, I have to go with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, there's a tie.
Parsons. No Michael Parsons yet. I'm not mad at, like, to kind of play off of what he was saying with the whole, the impact of a wide receiver. The more that I'm thinking about it, more that I'm looking at it, the less and less mad I would be. You know what I'm saying? Less and less mad I would be. I do want Micah Parsons, but I'm starting to kind of maybe realize that maybe that's more just of a fan talk. But I do want to fix this defense. I really want to fix this defense. But what are you thinking right now? Do you think that a wide receiver is going to give the most impact to this team, or do you think a defensive pick would do more?
No, I think his example was low-key perfect. I mean, you got a team that the Bills were good last year. They're better than they've been in a decade. But last year, their wide receivers were like Cole Beasley, John Brown, and I don't even know who else was on the team. And then you add Diggs, and next you know, they're putting up 40 points in a game, and they're making it as far as they did in the playoffs because they had a guy like Diggs who's able to open up the field for the other guys. And don't get me wrong, Josh Allen, he has a strong arm. That dude can just throw rifles right at the wide receivers, but you're not going to win that many games or be that competitive if Cole Beasley is your number one or John Brown. So that does make sense. We do have kind of like cast member wide receivers, and we do need that number one, that guy that can come in and be what other defenses have to game plan for. That's the only way that we're really going to cause a threat. Like, we can schematically get people open and everything, but if you can add an extra threat, it makes it all that better.
Why'd you call our wide receivers extras on Friends? That's grimy.
I didn't say extra on Friends.
He said these dudes are cast members. These are low budget film cast members.
Is Jalen Reagor number one?
I'm adding words.
No,
I agree. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was a really good. I just wanted to bother you about it. I mean, no, I agree. I think it would be interesting. I'm just so nervous about this defense. Yeah, and I've said it before. Like, I'm one of those guys that I'd rather see a 7-0 game. I really don't care. I want a defense. I want a hard-hitting defense. But look, Jamar Chase is a different type of dude. I mean, that's the only way I could really say it. Jamar Chase is really a different type of dude. I think Kyle Pitts, if he runs under 4.5, I am telling you, he is not a bad decision. And the reason why I say that, because you can just move him everywhere. 6'6", you can't just teach that. You know what I'm saying? You can't. There's no coach out there. There's no assistant coach out there that's going to make Jamar Chase 6'6". So it's like, I mean, I don't know. And he runs very good routes. I understand the tight end aspect. I understand that's what he played. But in Florida, it was a little bit different because he was lined up out wide, I should say. So I don't know. It's getting interesting, at least to me. I know that Chase is kind of running away with it right now, but I'm trying to keep it interesting, Brandon, okay?
You have Goddard. Goddard can do that.
But see, I don't think Kyle Pitts would be a tight end for us. That's the thing. I think if he came to us, he'd be a wide receiver. But no, I'm saying not like Kyle Pitts. Not like Kyle Pitts can, realistically. And Kyle Pitts can't block, so I don't think you use him as a tight end. He can't. No, I don't want to say he can't block, but he's not a great blocker. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he would be used as a tight end. Like, yeah, you got to kind of get the tight end part out of your head.
No, I hear you, but
in a wide receiver type role. But I agree. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to really justify it, but I got to play devil's advocate every now and then, you know?
That's true. That's true.
He says there's literally a wide receiver who is 6'7", who's projected to run a 4.5 and has good route running. 4.4, 4.5 tight end, good luck linebackers. Yeah, I mean, you never know. All right, so let's get into the next one. I don't even remember, to be honest, who's next, but we're going to all find out together. It's not fresh, though.
Yo, shout out my guy Philly to Talk podcast, man. You already know the vibes, man. Listen, with the 6th pick, I'm gonna go ahead and take Kyle Pitts. I think it's self-explanatory why. I mean, it's a mismatch nightmare. This is an unpopular pick for a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans, but I'm gonna stick to my guns with this because the Philadelphia Eagles have retained Aaron Moorhead, which is the wide receiver coach, for 2 years. So you should expect with the retention of Mr. Moorhead, there are guys who were underwhelming like Rager and Hightower. Will be able to step up and come into a nice little zone. So I think grabbing another wide receiver just complicates the wide receiver room for the Philadelphia Eagles. Develop the guys you already got. Get this tight end from Florida. And if Zach Ertz is out the door, this guy looks like a tight end / wide receiver anyway. And to boot, our quarterback coach is Florida's ex-offensive coordinator. So this just seems like a perfect thing. Also, with Sirianni being the guy who likes a twin tight end package, this seems like the ideal pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. And, I'm going to do a little more explaining on this later.
Joe Castro.
Oh, before we get into that, see, now I'm going to say this before you say anything. I had the luxury of watching all these before you did. So maybe I'm a little jaded because I started getting talked into it. So, maybe I came into it with a gun, to a knife fight, but it is what it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's tough because when you hear other people talk, it kind of like starts to sway you a little bit. And part of me still is like, we got to take Jamar Chase. You complicate the wide receiver room. Come on now. Complicating the wide receiver room was starting Alshon when he still stunk. That was complicated.
But we gotta look forward. And I hear you, though. I hear you.
If you're gonna use Kyle Pitts as a wide receiver, what's the difference? You're still gonna complicate things because you're gonna take away snaps from somebody else.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
It made sense though.
Go ahead. I think Jamar Chase is very good. I think Jamar Chase, to me, is my number one choice if it really came down to it, like as far as wide receivers go. But I feel like if Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith were gone, and you're down to deciding between, him, Kyle Pitts, Jalen Waddle, Patrick Surtain, Micah Parsons, it's like, at that point, I'm obviously looking at maybe moving down, but Kyle Pitts looks a little bit more, attractive at that point if the top 2 wide receivers are gone. Because I kind of look at him as like the number 3 wide receiver right now, to be honest with you. So that's kind of how I'm trying to look at it. But all right, so we'll get into – we have 2 more. So we'll get into those. So obviously you guys already know who the next one is. The king himself, the king dingbat himself.
Philly podcast. Let me say – you're by the way, King Dingbat here. So I see you doing a mock draft. And I see the Eagles are on the clock. You know King Dingbat had to get involved in this. I had to come speak my mind and talk to you guys about what I think. So I see you have Trevor Lawrence, he's gone. Zach Wilson, he's gone. Devontae Smith, he's gone. Justin Fields, he's gone. And then Penei Sewell At number 5 is gone. Now, I'm going to be honest. If Penei Sewell had dropped, I would have took him. If he was at 6, I would have snagged him. No question about it. And I know what Eagle fans are thinking. I know what you're all thinking. Jamar Chase is sitting on the board. Jamar Chase, an elite wide receiver, total stud, no question about it. He's sitting on that board. Philly 500, you gotta take Jamar Chase. And I tell you what, most likely, in most situations, I think you're probably right. You're probably right. You take him, it's a safe pick. But I don't want to be safe. I want to take a shot on something that I think could be very special, could be very spectacular. It is outside the box thinking, okay? If I don't have the ability to trade back, which in this case I don't. At number 6, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking tight end Kyle Pitts of Florida. Don't throw things. I see you want to throw things at me. I get it. 6'6", 240 pounds. But let me tell you something. I don't look at Kyle Pitts as a tight end. I look at him as a wide receiver. I think and I believe he could play wide receiver. This guy runs like a 4.4, they say. And if it's true and he runs a 4.4, and when you look at his film, it looks like he does. 4.4, a guy who's very comfortable. He says more comfortable playing outside. I think as a wide receiver, you have him a wide receiver, slash tight end. You can have him do a bit of both. But imagine him on the outside. 6'6", 240, running a 4.4. Too big for corners. Too fast for safeties and linebackers. He is a nightmare matchup. And if you get a big guy like that who can move, and then you have Jalen Reagor on the other side, and then you have Dallas Goedert as your tight end most of the time, and you just move this guy all around, he is going to be devastating. And it's outside the box, and it's something that I think could work. So, I'm going to skip Jamar Chase, even though he's a safe pick. And I'm going Kyle Pitts of Florida. With that said, Philly Podcast. Joe, thank you for having me on. Take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.
What? And we got one more. Y'all see who it is. Y'all see who the last one is. Before we get into him, because he could kind of tie it up right now, right? That's 3, right?
Yeah, that's 3 Kyle Pitts, 4 Jamar Chase, and 1 Surtain.
So this is getting very interesting. And now, let me ask you this: Do we count the chat as another vote? Because we did the community post. Because honestly, the chat is totally different from what the community. I see a lot of Kyle Pitts. So I mean, do we count them as another vote?
We might have to. I mean, they're sitting here watching. We might have to count them.
We have 50 people in here, Brandon. Do we count the 50 people in here as
we counting the 50 people? We count.
All right. So everybody in the comments before while we play this last one, I should say, you guys vote. You guys let me know who you want. I'm gonna try and glaze over the comments and pick who I see the most, and that will be one of the votes. That will be one of the votes. So you guys can tie it up right now. To be honest. I've seen a lot of Pitts, so you know what I'm saying. Hold on. Infamous says, Joe, can you ask every Philly content creator that if you pick Pitts for a mainly wide receiver, why would I pick that over Jamar Chase? That's a good question. So it's here. I'm sure they're gonna see it. So it's here. It's here. You know what I'm saying? I talk to them all the time. All right, I'm seeing a lot of Pitts.
Damn.
Seeing a lot of Pitts. Okay, we got a Chase. I'm seeing a lot.
This is wild. I just started hearing people talk about Pitts maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It's been Jamar Chase. What is going on?
Bro, it's looking like Pitts, man. It is looking like Pitts. Shout out to Lala. I haven't seen you. I don't know if you just got in here, but shout out to you. Always in here. Bro, did y'all see the report? Eagles asking 2 first and a player, and Bears are listening. Okay, I didn't see that report, but I'll take it. We got a Patrick Surtain. We got Eagles, so he wants to drive swoop. Pitts. We got a couple chases in a row. We got a couple Pitts in a row. Got a couple chases in a row. All right, so we're gonna watch this last one. You guys keep going. Whoever I see the most, can you see the comments as well?
I can't. No.
No? Okay. All right. So I'm going to try and put them up as they're coming in. whoever I see the most, man, that's who we'll go with. But right now it is 4 for Jamar Chase. I'm not even going to count the Patrick Surtain. I'm sorry, Tom.
Surtain, you have been booted.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, you're getting kicked out of Uncle Phil's house right now. Sorry, Tom. We love you though, bro. So all right. So right now it's 4 for Jamar Chase, 3 for Kyle Pitts. All right. So shout out to everybody that we had call in or had do these videos. Please check the description and make sure you check out their channels. You know, everybody's very busy. And
what is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. And real quick, shout out to my guy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, for allowing me to come on this podcast and give my take when it comes to his live mock draft for the Philadelphia Eagles at number 6. Now, I would like to say before I give my pick at number 6 that I would trade back, try to get between 9 and 13, grab an extra second round pick. And with that, I do believe Patrick Surtain will be there between 9 and 13. I wouldn't take him at 6, but I would take him at 9 or 13. Use the second round pick on maybe a linebacker, a wide receiver. We will have 2, one early, one middle, pretty early. So I would definitely do that because we got a lot of holes we need to fill. But on this one, he says pick at number 6. And when I look at who's left, there's only one person you can go to, and that is wide receiver out of LSU, Jamar Chase. This guy's just a different type of animal. He got the physicality, he got the speed you need. And when you look at all the receivers in the draft, shout out to the Heisman winner, Devontae Smith, who's already taken prior to this. So maybe I would have took him, maybe I wouldn't. However, Jamar Chase has the most NFL ready body, skill set, and just like I said, physicality. He got the tools. There's a couple things he needs to work on, but he's going to be a quick learner. The early bird gets the worm, and I would love to see him in Midnight Green playing for the Birds. He's just going to be a guy who can get you to 2020 and also finish in the red zone. I'm going to be breaking down tape on my channel as well. But once again, shout out to Philly Fresco and Brandon. I know you're going to be on here, and I know we can't be leaving you out too because you are a big contributor when it comes to Philly, the podcast. Our names are so close. I mean, it's crazy. But shout out to you. I'm going Jamar Chase at number 6. Fly, Eagles, fly. Peace.
What's up?
All right. Awesome. So that was the last one, guys. So it looks like Jamar Chase won at least the creator part of it, right? It was close, though. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Pitts, and then that's just between the small amount of people here, right? Like, imagine the rest of the Eagles fan base and what their thoughts are. Pitts is rising.
Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but for me, to be 100% honest, it looked like Pitts won at least our chat because I kept on seeing Pitts.
Yeah. I mean, when you kept posting it, it looked like Pitts, Surtain, Pitts, Chase, Pitts.
So, I mean, all right. So, finalish tally is 5 for Chase. Mm-hmm. With the chat, it's 4 for Kyle Pitts. So, it's still close.
Yeah.
So, I guess me and you both pick now. I guess that's how this works.
I'll let you go last. I'll go first. So
before you do go, we have to give everyone 1 millisecond that it does take to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We have 50 people in here. Ain't no reason why we shouldn't have like 40, 50 likes, right? And put a like for every content creator that we got on here. It was not easy, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So let's figure this out. Go ahead. Give him your pick, my man.
So if we're going to stick with Hurts, and Hurts is going to be our guy, we need to give Hurts the best tools available. And at the end of the day, I love what everyone was saying, and I kind of understand the whole Pitts thing. But just like what Infamous 2K just said, if you're going to draft him to be a wide receiver, why not take who, in my eyes, although he might have not had the accolades as Devontae Smith, is the best wide receiver in this draft. So I'm going Jamar Chase. That's the kind of player that we need. He's a possession wide receiver. He's phenomenal. He's good in the red zone. That we can't pass up on that. That's talent. I know we just got a wide receiver last year, and we can't keep recycling this pool. We'll change it up next year. Next year with our pick, we're not taking wide receivers. I understand the defense too. We do need to build this defense, and it is scary. If we're not building in the draft, I don't really think we're building in free agency because we ain't got no money. So I'm going Jamar Chase.
All right. So listen, you know what I'm saying? You are my Howie Roseman at the end of the day. You're my way better version of Howie Roseman. No disrespect, obviously. But I have to play Jeffrey Lurie here if he makes the decision, or whoever makes the final decision on draft. However that works out. I got to play that. I got to go with my scouts. I like what my scouts are saying. Don't get me wrong. And I like what the chat's saying. At first, I know a lot of people knew I was on Micah Parsons. I really, really wanted Micah Parsons. Do I still want Micah Parsons? Yeah, I do. I do still want Micah Parsons, but I have to do what's best for my franchise. I have to do what the smartest. I got to do what I think everybody wants, everybody needs. Shout out to the Philly Talk podcast for the super chat $2.99. I appreciate you so much. Says Pitt's nice, but Chase is better player. Simple. How do you disagree with that? I mean,
you can't
look. It's hard. I think this is going to be a hard pick.
It sounds like you're about to.
Look, Trey Lance is going to be there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, realistically, more that I watch him, more that I look, to be 100% honest, I think that me and you both can agree here that if there's an opportunity to push back to a trade back, you can probably definitely look into that. There's you know what I'm saying? There's definite opportunities for that. But for the sake of this video, I think that I'm going to go with my confidant or my right-hand man, Brandon here. And we're going to go ahead and grab the best wide receiver in the draft. And we're going to take Chase. So the Philadelphia Eagles at number 6 in the 2021 NFL Draft will be taking Jamar Chase, wide receiver from LSU. I was trying to be all serious. So let me hear it. Let me hear it. We already got a boo. Oh. What are we doing? What are we doing at the draft? You know what I'm saying? This is the virtual draft. So what's up? We'll give you a minute or two to boo us. Tell us if you like it. What's up? He says he agrees. We got a boo. We are talking about the 6th pick.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back on the clock soon.
Hey,
hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yes, Joe. He said, "I never seen you that serious." It was hard. It was very hard to stay serious. So look, I mean, most people. I mean, we got to remember everybody wanted Pitts in here. That's also what we have to remember. I don't think that we should be looking for people to really agree with us right now.
And I think
he says I take Chase or Pitts.
There's a lot of fans that only pay attention to like the NFL and they hear the big names in college. And if we go ahead and get a guy that no one's really heard of, Philly fans ain't going to be too happy about. Like, don't get me wrong. If you pay attention to a little bit of college, then you know who Kyle Pitts is. But if you don't, then you're not going to know who he is. And I think Howie, at the end of the day, is going to try to do something to make the fan base happy, especially if we let Carson Wentz go. No matter which way you look at it, even if he doesn't want to be here, there's still a large portion of this fan base that doesn't want to see Wentz go, that thinks Wentz is going to go somewhere and end up killing it, and maybe he could do that here. So if Howie, I feel like, is going to have to go with a big name, someone that everyone can be happy about and build the morale of not only the team, but Philly in general.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying that we needed to fix Wentz. It looks like this might just help whoever the quarterback is no matter what. So let's all, get along. Let's all, once this drama is over, I want everybody to power hug it out. You know what I'm saying? And just be happy. No worries. But in the
Twitter's
meantime,
about to be boring.
You can buy, because he might be our future franchise quarterback, guys. So you can go cop it early. I think I left I might have. I don't think I did, but I'll leave the link in the description. And you guys could definitely go cop it. It's very easy to find. Just teespring.com/Hertz2021. So very easy to find. And then shout out to my guy, Brad Wright. I think we're going to start bringing these random shout outs back from the community posts. Why not? They're fun. He said, this is why the Eagles should let the fans choose. Think of the players we would have had the last 3 seasons if it was up to us. We don't overthink it and try to be the smartest in the room. Shout out to Brad Wright. Shout out to everybody that was in this chat. Definitely a big shout out to all the Eagles creators that contributed their thoughts. I definitely agree that I appreciate that. I mean, it means so much to us that you guys chilled, and this was probably one of the funnest videos that we've done in a while, to be honest. This was a lot of fun.
We didn't argue.
Was a lot of fun. Not much. We're gonna argue about not arguing, but nah, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll probably be back tomorrow at some time, and like we said, next Saturday, be sure to catch us on A2D Radio. And before we do leave, shout out to Kevin Bacon. Thank you so much for the $4.99. He said, "What y'all doing if Chi-Town flies us in 2-1s for a Wentz?" I am hyped.
Bro,
let's go.
We'd be able to fill so many holes in this draft if we were to get 2 firsts. I mean, granted, the next one is probably for next year, but that would 2 firsts this year, 2 firsts next year. That'd be phenomenal. I'd be like, how is it genius again?
I would love Carson for that. I would make a Carson t-shirt. I would make like a Carson t-shirt because he deserves it if that happened. That would be crazy. Howie, like you said, I know you were joking, but I mean, one of the titles I saw was Howie working his magic. If you want to get back in my good graces, pull some magic off.
Chicago
Howie.
fans would go nuts. They'd be so mad. That's a lot of.
Jesse, right? Jesse Hogan.
I recognize that name from the
West. I think he went to West Hartford School with us.
I remember
sure
you guys. I remember seeing you on Facebook talk to him when we played the Bears.
Yeah. So either way, if that happens, we going in. We going in on. And I'm way better with Photoshop now. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. But listen, man, I appreciate everybody again. Thank you so much. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Check all the links in the description. Do not be afraid to spread the love. You know what I'm saying? Spread this flavor like Fresh be saying at the end of his. Make sure you share this. Do all that stuff. Just press a bunch of buttons, man. Press a bunch of buttons. But you got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we go?
Thank you guys for watching. It's a great live. Had a good time. Hey, who knows what's going to happen in this draft? But as of right now, it's a Philly the Podcast mock draft series. The Eagles got Jamar Chase.
Yes, sir. So we will start this back up next week with number 7 and 8. Welcome to Philly, Jamar. Welcome to Philly. I think you're going to hate it. But no, I'm just kidding. I think you're going to love it.
He drops the ball. Oh, this guy sucks.
But other than that, man, y'all know what it is, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. And we are out. Ciao. Peace.